Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So what I'm gonna do first is apply my eyeshadow base. I am using two different concealers by MAC Cosmetics. One is in NC35 and the other one I believe is in NC40. So I like to mix those two and just blend that out. And then what I like to do is take my beauty blender and just kind of soak up the excess moisture so that my eyeshadows don't become muddy and that they blend seamlessly. So I'm going to be going in with my BH Cosmetics Orange Sorbet palette, and I'm going to be taking that orange shade and applying that to the first half of my crease. I'm going to be blending that out and really packing that on. Eventually I switched brushes because I just feel like this brush wasn't really picking up as much product as I wanted. It's not really like as dense. That's one thing that I am noticing that I'm changing with my blending technique. I like to pack on the shades first and then blend out. So that's what I started doing eventually. And yeah, so I'm just going to be taking that shade and just blending it out, and then we're just going to go in with the second shade afterwards. So now I'm just going to be taking pretty much the star of the show. This is the UcanBe Pretty All Set palette. As you can see, it's fucking huge. I was kind of struggling to show you guys like all the shades. You'll see later throughout the video. But yeah, so I'm just going in with that shade that I had pointed to, and I'm going to be packing that on. So like I said, I had switched out my brush, and then I started using the technique that I told you guys about earlier, how I'm just packing on the shade. You can see how it's still like not really blended and everything like that. It's because I want to pack on as much pigment as I can to get it as opaque as possible. And then I'm going to go back in and blend it out and everything like that, especially considering that this is a ombre cut crease. I just wanted to make sure that the colors were really popping, and then we're going to focus on blending later. So as you can see, I pointed to the purples that I'm going to be using, so I'm just going to take that on the outer corner and, you know, just really buff that out and everything like that, and then go in with the pink and then, you know, buff that out just to make sure everything is just blended really nicely and it transitions into each other pretty well. Okay, you guys, so this technique right here, I'm definitely going to be doing this from now on. I don't know what made me not do it any other time, but yes, I'm so glad that I started. So basically I take a Q-tip and some baby oil, and I'm just going to cut the crease as if I would with concealer. I really like this technique a lot. I don't know if I'm going to stick with the baby oil though, because baby oil can get kind of messy and, you know, it's hard to clean up and everything like that, and I don't want to change the texture of my eyeshadow base or any of the eyeshadows. So yeah, I might switch out the fact that I use a baby oil. But yeah, so either way, it still worked pretty nicely. I will use one side to clean it up with the oil, and then I will use the other side to dry up any excess oil and everything like that. So I mean, if you do that second part, then the oil should be fine. However, you are kind of chancing it a little bit more versus using like a thin liquidy makeup remover or something like that. So yeah. And as you guys can see, I am kind of making an oval shape when I cut my crease. However, I didn't really like how that looked. Usually I would do that sometimes, but yeah, I didn't like how it looked for this video. It was already kind of circular anyway, so I just wanted to keep it you know, just blend it on the edges. So eventually I am going to just blend out the ends. As you can see, I just cut that part out, and then I'm going to go in with that nice shimmery purple shade and just pack that on. It was really pigmented and it blended out very well. So yeah, I just applied that. It's a nice even layer, and then I went in with a mixture of glitters. I will leave all the glitters that I had mixed down below, but they are by Bulk Glitters. So yeah, I just put that on my lid just to, you know, create a little bit more of a pop, because as you can see, the camera really didn't pick up the colors too well. At one point I did turn down my lights a little bit, but if I was to turn them down like too much, it would kind of mess up the quality of the video, and I didn't want to do that. But yeah, the shimmers were nice and popping. However, I just wanted something a little bit more extra. So yeah, moving on to the base. So for the base, I will be using my Makeup Revolution foundation. I can't remember everything off the top of my head, so every single thing that I use in today's video will be listed below. But yeah, I'm just going in with that, just blending it out, making sure it's a nice even layer. And then I'm going to take my beauty blender and just go ahead and blend everything out and make sure it's not like any excess foundation or moisture and anything like that. So now I'm going to go in with my favorite concealer at the moment. This is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer in the shade Caramel. And I'm just going to be applying that in all the high points of my face. Now, I did cut this part short because, guys, I be making some wild-ass faces when I'm blending out my concealer. So I kind of cut that short. But, yeah, so I'm just going to do, you know, pretty much the standard, applying it and just blending it out with my beauty blender. And, yeah. And now I'm just taking my powder. This is the Ruby Kisses mineral powder in the shade Golden Honey, and I'm just going to be applying that everywhere that I put my concealer. And then we're just going to go straight into bronzer. So for bronzer, I'm going to be going into my matte powder by Ulta. It's in the shade Dark Cool. This is the perfect shade for me, I feel like. So I'm just going to be taking that into the hollows of my cheeks and just on the one side of my forehead, because you know the other side is clearly covered with how my hair is styled. So yeah, and I did a little bit of nose contouring too off of camera. So now I'm going to be going into my Juvia's Place Volume 1 blush palette, and I'm going to be taking that pinky shade that I pointed to. Like I said, every single thing will be in the description box, so don't worry. And now I'm going to go into lips. Now, you guys, my camera died in the middle of me doing this, so yeah, I apologize about that. But yeah, I'll just have everything listed below. And then I went in with my Morphe palette. This is the highlighter palette, and I took those two shades. I took a pinky one at first, and then I applied just a little bit of purple as well. And I did apply some glitter in my inner corner, as you can see off of camera as well. So yeah, you guys, this is the finished look. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you in my next one.